What's up, Takeover family, man? It's your boy Dre, aka Takeover, back with another video, man. And today's video is crazy. We're gonna talk about God's timing. Ain't nothing better than God's timing, and it's crazy, man. But let's start like this. My mom sent a sermon in the group chat of me and my brothers. She told us to listen to it in January 14, which was a Tuesday, I believe. She told us to listen to the sermon, listen to it all the way through, please, guys. I love you and stuff like that. And I didn't listen to that sermon until January 17th, which was a Friday. I finally listened to the sermon and everything that Pastor Mike Jr., the sermon was called Get to Stepping. Everything that he said in the sermon hit me, and I felt like it was right on time with everything that's been going on lately in life. I was telling my mom, I was like, that message that you sent was perfect. I needed to hear that. It came right on time for me to actually listen to that message. And fast forward the next day, actually, which was a Saturday, I had an appointment to drive an exotic car on a racetrack. And this appointment was a rescheduled appointment that I already had in December, which is my birthday. It was for my birthday. My girl set this appointment up for me for my birthday in December to go drive an exotic car on a racetrack. And we didn't get to go in December because we were out celebrating late with family and friends, and we just wasn't gonna make it to the appointment on time. So we ended up rescheduling to January 18th, which was Saturday. So we finally ended up going to Drive Exotic. That's what it's called. We finally ended up going over there and making it to the location. Um, Everything was nice. It was cool, dope experience. We make it to the location. We go into the instruction room, the tutorial room. They tell us everything that we need to know, the do's and the don'ts. They was telling us about the racetrack. They showed us the aerial view of the racetrack and everything. And then they end up showing us the signs that we need to follow as we're on the racetrack. They showed us the 3 orange cones. When you see 3 orange cones, that means slow down. That means a turn is coming. And then you see 1 orange cone, that means that's where you need to cut and make that cut for your turn. So basically, we end up seeing the tutorial, end up getting out of that. I was nervous. I even told my instructor that I was nervous. I finally ended up meeting my instructor. His name was Johnny. Cool dude, man. Cool dude. Real great instructor. He's telling me everything's gonna be cool. We make it to the vet. That's why I drove the Corvette. Put our helmets on, got in the car, everything like that. Drove out of the garage, and as we were making it to the track, he tells me this. He was like, "Man, before we get on the track, Dre," he was like, before we get on, just stop right here." He said, "We're gonna have to let like some cars pass by us first." So we ended up letting 1 car pass, another car pass, and then the 3rd pass. And he said, "You know what? Now just accelerate, get on the track, and let's go." We start driving. I'm feeling it. I feel good, man, driving on this track. I feel great. It feels amazing. It's my first time being in a Corvette as well. And as I'm finna make my first turn, he tells me this. He was like, "Okay, you see those cones over there, the 3 cones? You know what to do." He said, "Slow down when I tell you to slow down." Slowed down when he told me to slow down. Then he said, "Okay, now cut over there. We used to have that 1 orange cone by itself. Now make that cut." End up making a cut. He tells me accelerate. When to accelerate, I accelerated. When he told me to accelerate, and he said, "Man, you're a natural." He said, "You handle your curves, your cuts amazingly." He said, "You're doing great." And he ended up getting a call on his walkie-talkie from another instructor. And the instructor said, "We're coming on your left. Can we pass you?" They have to make calls before they can pass somebody up on the racetrack. So he ended up calling my instructor, telling me, "Hey, can we pass you?" My instructor was like, "After we get after this turn, then you guys can pass us." So we made it out of the turn. My instructor tells me to get over to the right, veer to the right, and let them pass. I ended up letting them pass me. We go back by doing our driving as they pass by. Um, yeah, I'm driving, enjoying the ride. Then he gives a call again, talking about, hey, it's another instructor calling. Hey, can we pass? We're coming up behind you guys. And my instructor said again, let's make this turn, and then you guys can pass us. We made the turn, we let them pass. And the cars that passed, I promise I got past like, excuse me. I promise I got passed like twice by the Audi. They passed me twice. I got passed by a Lambo at least once on that track. But I was like, dang, they said he passed me up, man. I'm driving slow, man. They passed me up. My instructor was like, man, it's cool. You said you still enjoying the ride, right? I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying the ride. Yeah, I'm still enjoying it, man. This is my first time in a vet. I like the experience that I'm in, and this track is cool and things like that. And as we're driving, still driving, enjoying the ride, my instructor tells me this. He said, Dre, you're doing good, man. He said, you're handling all these curves like a pro. You're driving, you're accelerating out of these turns amazingly. He said, but I want you to focus on this, Dre. He said, you've been doing great with focus on everything that's beside you, right? That's on the side of you and a little bit on the front of you. He was like this. I want you to focus on what's ahead of you. He said, everything that's way ahead of you, I want you to focus on that. I want you to look at your next turn. After you hit your turn, I want you to look at your next turn that you're finna go through. So you can already map out what you need to do when you get to that turn. I was like, okay. Makes sense. So I do that. So I start focusing on my next turn, my next cones, everything that's already in front of me, way ahead of me. I started focusing on that. He was like, man, see, that's what you're supposed to do. You're doing great. He said, you got everything good. He said, you can take instructions well. You're doing a great job. And safe to say, I end up enjoying the whole experience. I ended up actually finally hitting my 4 laps. I got 4 laps that I had to do. And I ended up finishing my 4 laps. As I ended up getting off the track, I ended up telling my instructor, I was like, oh man, that was a great experience. And I said, but I feel like I had the slowest time. I was the slowest one on the track. Everybody else was already off the track by the time I got off the track. And my instructor told me this. He's like, yeah, that might be true. He said, but think about it in this way, Dre. You got more experience on the track than they did. You got to stay on the track longer than they did. You got to drive your dream car, one of your dream cars, longer than they did. You got more experience and more bang for your buck than they did. And I was like, you know what? In that perspective, you are right. You're correct. I did get to experience the actual car fully longer than they did. And I was so much worried about my time and how quick everybody was done with the track. And I actually got to experience the track longer than they did and experience my car longer than they did. But yeah, we finally end up pulling back into the garage, backing in and stuff like that, and getting out the car and chopping it up and just talking. And I had a great instructor, man. It was a cool dude. Like I said, shout out Johnny, amazing dude. But now let's put this into the perspective. Sorry, guys. Let's put this into the perspective of the metaphor that we're going to talk about. Because everything that was in that sermon that my mom sent me happened on that racetrack that I got to experience. This is God's timing. When he wants you to hear and feel something, he will put it in your life and he will show you right then and there that this was meant for you. Everything that was in that sermon that my mom sent me was meant for me, literally. It was meant for me, and it might be meant for you to even hear this message. But yeah, from me getting into the car, me being nervous, me having my instructor, this is like literally you in life right now, right? You're the driver, right? And you have your passenger, which is whatever divine spirit you believe in. You believe in God, you believe in the universe. You have your instructor right there beside you. They're not leaving you. They're beside you the whole time. And they're telling you how to handle your turns properly, how to accelerate when you need to accelerate, slow down when you need to slow down, let people pass you when it's okay to let people pass you as long as you continue on your journey, continue on your track. It's you get what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how all that happened like that, clear as day. And one thing that actually really hit me was when I thought about when my instructor told me this, when he told me, Dre, he said, you're doing good with everything else. You're focused. I see you. You're driving good. You're looking on the side. You're looking a little bit right there in front of you. He's like, but focus on what's ahead of you. I'm talking about way ahead of you. And that hit me later on. I was like, wow. That's like God telling you that he has your present already with you. You know what I'm saying? You focus on your present. That's good. Yeah, he's there with you, and then he's already telling me. My instructor told me to don't worry about my back as well as I was driving. He's already looking in the rear view, all that. So he's telling me too, don't look behind you. I got that. That's like God telling you, don't worry about your past. It's already done. I got that. That's already gone. Just continue to worry about what's beside you, which is your present, and worry about what's ahead of you, which is your future. So, you guys, everything that you're doing good, man. You're staying on track. You're staying on course. Of course, some people are going to pass you, but it's okay. As long as you're enjoying the ride, you're enjoying the experience. Everybody doesn't have the same track time. Everybody doesn't go as fast as everyone else. You might need to go slower than some people. And you see that I went the slowest on the track, and at the end of the day, I still got the best out of the experience. I still stayed on the track longer in one of my dream cars. I still got to experience the acceleration, me handling the torque of the car, the Corvette. It was amazing. I got to experience all that. They didn't ruin my experience seeing everybody else going 100 and 200 miles on the track, and I'm still just going by like 100 or something like that. That didn't mess up my experience because I was focused on my experience. And I feel like that's what the whole message is for us to focus on our experience. God is not going to let up off of us. God's timing is always the best timing. His timing happens when it needs to happen. Literally, that sermon when my mom sent it, and me delaying my trip and finally going on my trip the day after I heard the sermon and experiencing everything on that racetrack. And the metaphor was God. God, the instructor, and God. God's telling you when to do things. God's telling you when to take a turn slow. God's telling you when to accelerate out of that experience that you're in. God's telling you to let somebody pass you, and it doesn't matter if they're passing you. God's telling you that he has your past, your back. You don't have to worry about what's in your past because it's already happened. Just worry about what's beside of you and worry about what's ahead of you, which is your future. And continue to keep at your pace. As long as you're doing good and handling your curves and you're not veering off your track, you're doing a great job. So everything that happened for a reason, and divine timing is the great timing. It's perfect timing. And if this message has hit you in any type of way, I hope it did. I hope it did its justice. I hope I explained it well. I'm trying to get better at my storytelling. And yeah, man, I hope this message just hit you and you feel it the way I felt it. Like I had a eureka moment. Like literally, I felt the message, the metaphor, like days after I got off the track. And I was like, wow, everything that he said in that sermon hit perfectly for when I went on that racetrack. But yeah, man, the experience was dope. It was amazing. The message, just God, man, just talk about God. I needed everything in that sermon, and I needed everything to happen to me the way it did. It was amazing. But yeah, man, I hope you guys felt this, heard this. It reached you at the right time. Like if you enjoyed this message, comment below. Subscribe if you want to, man. It's your boy Dre. If you're already with us, I thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. You guys are a blessing. If you're not with us, please join the takeover. I'll talk to you guys later on, man. Peace. Peace.